Hello, this is Alec Kerr, the film critic for the Conway Daily Sun, and in honor of Woody Allen's latest film, Blue Jasmine, I want to talk about my 3 favorite Woody Allen scenes. And these aren't the scenes that are necessarily the funniest, but they're the ones that mean the most to me. First up is the end of Annie Hall, a romantic comedy that doesn't conclude with the expected happy ending. Allen once said, "What we had grown up being taught by Hollywood movies was that by the end you'll live happily ever after," but that didn't seem to be the case. Almost everywhere I looked, it wasn't the case. So his 2 leads don't end up together. What Allen comes up with is bittersweet, but honest and truthful. Love may be crazy, but through good and bad, it is something we can't live without.
After that, it got pretty late, and we both had to go, but it was great seeing Annie again. I realized what a terrific person she was, and how much fun it was just knowing her. And I thought of that old joke, this guy goes to a psychiatrist and says, "Doc, my brother's crazy. He thinks he's a chicken." And the doctor says, "Well, why don't you turn him in?" And the guy says, "I would, but I need the eggs." Well, I guess that's pretty much now how I feel about relationships. They're totally irrational and crazy and absurd, but I guess we keep going through it because most of us need the eggs.
Next is the end of Manhattan, which again doesn't end with the romantic leads together, but Allen inches closer to a traditional, albeit more ambiguous, happy ending. It is also Allen's best acting. For once, he doesn't have a quip or a one-liner. Instead, he expresses everything through facial expression.
I mean, 6 months is a long time. 6 months, you're going to be working in the theater there. You'll be with actors and directors. You go to rehearsal and you hang out with those people. You have lunch a lot, and well, attachments form, and I mean, you don't want to get into that kind of. I mean, you'll change. You'll be 6 months. You'll be a completely different person.
Well, don't you want me to have that experience? I mean, a while ago you made such a convincing case.
Yeah, of course I do. But I just don't want that thing about you that I like to change.
I've got to make a plane.
Come on, you don't have to go.
Why couldn't you have brought this up last week? 6 months isn't so long. Everybody gets corrupted. I think you have to have a little faith in people.
Finally is Hannah and her sisters. Here, Allen's character is struggling with finding meaning in life and a reason to live. Allen, a known atheist, is often described as cynical and pessimistic, and yet in this scene he has a revelation that while being a realist's take on life and death is in its own way comforting and hopeful.
I wandered for a long time on the Upper West Side, and it must have been hours. My feet hurt, my head was pounding, and I had to sit down. I went into a movie house. I didn't know what was playing or anything. I just needed a moment to gather my thoughts and be logical and put the world back into rational perspective. And I went upstairs to the balcony. And I sat down, and, the movie was a film that I'd seen many times in my life since I was a kid, and I always loved it. And, I'm watching these people up on the screen, and I started getting hooked on the film, and I started to feel, how can you even think of killing yourself? I mean, isn't it so stupid? I mean, look at all the people up there on the screen, they're real funny, and what if the worst is true? What if there's no God, and you only go around once and that's it? Well, don't you want to be part of the experience? What the hell, it's not all a drag. And I'm thinking to myself, geez, I should stop ruining my life searching for answers I'm never going to get and just enjoy it while it lasts. And, after, who knows? I mean, maybe there is something. Nobody really knows. I know maybe is a very slim reed to hang your whole life on, but that's the best we have. And then I started to sit back and I actually began to enjoy myself.
So those are my top 3 favorite Woody Allen moments. What are some of your favorite Woody Allen moments? Leave a comment or a video response if you like. Anyway, come back next week for another Real Thoughts.